In this video, we'll go through exam questions that cover the criteria calculate percentage change, any size increase and decrease, and original value after percentage change. You can locate the questions on the mathsmaths.com website under Level 2. The questions come from different exam boards. We'll start with the non-calculated questions and then we'll move to the calculated questions. Percentage change means percentage increase or decrease. So if you have the 100% amount, the amount to start with, the original amount, and then you add, let's say 10% on top, so that becomes 110%. Similarly, if you have 100% and then you reduce that by 10%, then what you have left is just the 90%. So that's percentage decrease. Let's dive into the first question. Asha often goes swimming at Upton Leisure Centre. She pays £5.20 each time she swims. Next month, the price will increase by 12.5%. How much more will Asha need to pay for each swim? Give your answer in pence. So we've got an increase in this case. So let's represent the 100% amount first, which is the current amount that she pays, and that is £5.20. So that's the 100% amount. Next month, the price will increase by 12.5%. So we're going to see an increase here by 12.5%. So we'll work out 12.5% of £5.20 and add it on top. As we can't use a calculator, I will use the 10% method. So 10% of £5.20 or 5.2, we work it out by doing 5.2 divided by 10. So I'll write 5.2 as it is. When you divide by 10, we're going to move one place to the left. So to make the number even smaller, 10 times smaller. So we've moved the decimal point, and I'm going to remove the one we had here before. So we've got 0.52. That is what 10% of 5.2 is equal to. Now we've got another 2.5, because 10 add 2.5 gives us 12.5. So 2.5%, that is a quarter of the 10%, because 4 times 2.5 makes 10. So what we can do is divide 0.52 by 4. So how many 4s would fit into 0? That would be 0. Transferring the decimal point over there. How many 4s into 5? That is 1, and we have 1 remaining. How many 4s into 12? That is exactly 3. So 2.5% is equal to 0.13. Now, if we add these two amounts together, it should give us what 12.5% is. 2 and 3 is 5, 5 and 1 is 6, 0 and 0 is 0. So that is 2.5%. We need to add it on top of the £5.20 that we had. So lining these up correctly, so we get decimal point under the decimal point. 0.65. 0 and 5 is 5. 2 and 6, 8. 0 and 5 is 5. So £5.85. Well, we need to give the answer in pence. It seems So that will be 585 pence. Because there are 100 pence in a pound. £5.20 is 30% more than the price at Downtown Leisure Centre. Calculate the price at Downtown Leisure Centre. So the £5.20 that Asha pays at Upton Leisure Centre is 30% more than the price at Downton Leisure Centre. So if we represent Downton Leisure Centre here, we don't know the amount, we just know that that's like the 100% amount, and then we have a 30% increase or extra. So this whole thing represents £5.20, and this 100% bar represents the Downton Leisure Centre amount. So as you can see, £5.20 is 130%. So 100% and the 30, the increase, that makes 130%. We want to work out the 100% amount. So what we can do is break this down into 10% amounts. So if you imagine, like this 30 is made of 3 10% amounts, and then we have 10 over here. So that will be 13 in total. So if I divide £5.20 by 13, it should give me the 10% amount. So that's what I'm going to do. How many 13s fit into 5? None. We transfer the decimal point and we have 5 remaining, because 0 times 13 is 0. 5 take away 0 gives us 5. How many 13s fit into 52? Let's see. 13 and 13, that is 26. 26 and 26, that is 12, that is 52. So 4 lots of 13 make 52. So there is nothing remaining. How many 13s fit into 0? That is 0. So 0.40, or just 0.4, is equal to 10%. So that is 40 pence. I'll write it with a 0 at the end, actually. Now I've got the 10% amount, and to work out 100%, all I need to do is multiply it by 10. So if 10% is 40 pence, then 100% will be £4. It's like multiplying 0.4 by 10. So moving the decimal point one place to the right to make the number bigger, 10 times bigger, that gives us 4. So that is £4. Or you could have done here 10%. Let's work out 30%, which is £1.20. Take it away from the £5.20, it still gives you £4. The old world record for the longest knitting needles was £3. The old world record for the longest knitting needles was 3.98 meters. The new world record is 11% longer. What is the new world record for the longest knitting needles? Give your answer in meters. So the old world record is the original, the 100% amount. It's what you start with. and then we've got an increase by 11% for the new world record. So the 100% amount or number or measure, whatever you want to call, is 3.98 meters. We need to work out what is 11% and then add it on top. So we'll use the 10% method as we can't use a calculator. So 10% of 3.98. That is worked out by dividing 3.98 by 10. 3.98. So dividing this number by 10 will make it 10 times smaller. So I'm going to move the decimal point one place to the left to make this 0.398. So we've got the 10%, but we need 11. So we need to work out what is 1% as well. So 1% of 3.98, that will be 3.98 divided by 100 this time around, because it's 100 lots of 1% that make 100%. So you can imagine really tiny amounts that make 1%. So I'll rewrite 3.98 and move the decimal point now 2 places to the left. So 1, 2. So this is now 0.0398. Adding the 10% amount and the 1% amount should give us 11%. So 10% amount is 0.398. The 1% amount is 0.0398. So we can add a 0 here. 0 and 8 makes 8. 8 and 9 makes 17. 9 and 1 is 10, and the 3, that is 13. So 3 down and 1 carried over. 3 and 1 is 4. Put in the decimal point down. 0 and 0 makes 0. So 0.4378 meters. Because we input meters, we kept it as meters throughout. And the question specified that the answer should be in meters. So that's the increase. That is the 11%. So we're going to need to add it on top, because the question is, what is the new world record? So that is 11% on top of the 3.98. So 3.98 add 0.4378. 0 and 8 is 8, 0 and 7 is 7, 8 and 3 is 11, so 1 down, 1 carried over. 1 and 9 is 10, and the 4 is 14, so 4 down, 1 carried over. 3 and 1 is 4. So 4.4178 meters is the answer. On Mondays, Highfield Vets are open from 8 AM to 8 PM. So that is 12 hours. On Tuesdays, they are open from 8 AM to 9 PM, so an extra hour. That will be 13 hours. What is the percentage increase in opening hours from Monday to Tuesday? Show your working out and write the answer in the box below. On Tuesdays, so they've increased the open hours by 1 hour out of the 12 hours that they normally or originally were open for. So that is 1/12, which is the same as 1 divided by 12. So how many 12s would fit into 1? That is 0. We've run out of digits, so we're going to put a decimal point here. So we have 1 remaining. And we can add zeros now. How many 12s into 10? Again, that's 0. You can't fit 1. So we have now 10 carried forward. And we can add a 0 again. How many 12s into 100? Well, 12 and 12 makes 24. So that's 2 lots of 12. 24 and 24, that is 48. So that is 4 lots of 12 that make 48. Can we do 48 and 48 and fit within 100? That is 96. So that is 8 lots of 12. And we have 4 remaining. I can add a 0 here. How many 12s fit into 40? 12 and 12 is 24, so that is 2 lots. 4 lots is 48, which is more, so it needs to be 3. So if I add 12 to 24, that is 6, 36. So I'm going to put 3 here. 36, we have 4 remaining. So you can see the pattern now, it's 3 again, 3, 3, and so on. So we know that 1/12 is 0.083 as a decimal. Now we need to convert that into a percentage, and all we do is multiply this by 100, or move the decimal point 2 places to the right. So the new decimal point will go after the 8. So 8.333. So we can just write 8.3 here. That's the percentage increase. From now on, we can use a calculator. Jim owns a small business. The table shows information about the weekly wage of 40 workers. Jim wants to increase the mean wage by 4% plus £10. Jim thinks the new mean weekly wage of these workers will be more than £415. Is Jim correct? You must show your working. So we've got weekly wage in pounds and number of workers. £320, 10 workers are paid that amount weekly. £370, we've got 13 workers, £420, 8 workers, £470, 7 workers, £520, 2 workers. So the first step would be to work out the mean. And to work out the mean, we'll do 320 times 10, 370 times 13, 420 times 8, and so on. Work out the total for all of these rows, and then divided by the total number of workers, which is 40. So we can use a calculator and do 320 times 10, which is 3,200. 370 times 13, which is 4,810. $420 times 8, which is 3,360. 470 times 7, 3,290. 520 times 2, 1,040. Adding all of these together, we get 15,700. which we're going to divide by 40. And that gives us 392.5. So we've got the current mean, which is the 100% amount. And we're going to increase this by 4%. So we add in 4% on top of the current mean. 4%, that is 4 out of 100 of the 392.5. So 4 divided by 100, we know that that gives us 0.04 times 392.5 gives us 15.7. So that is £15.70 as we're talking about money. So we're going to add that on top of the £392.50. And we also need to add £10. And that gives us £418.20. So how does that compare with what Jim thinks? He thinks that the new mean weekly wage of these workers will be more than £415, and he's correct. David reads this advert on his county council website. 70% of the area of woodland in the county is native woodland. This means there are 350 square kilometers of native woodland in the county. Work out the area of woodland in the county that is not native woodland. So if we think of the whole area of woodland being represented here, that's the 100% of the area. And then we have 70% and 30%. So 70% is native woodland and 30% is non-native or not native. So the 70%, that is equal to 350 kilometers squared. We don't know what 30% is equal to. So what we're going to do is use 350 to work out what is 10%. And then we can multiply it by 3 to get 30%. So we've got 70% being equal to 350. If I split the 70% into 7 equal parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, supposedly equal, although my drawing isn't perfect, then I can get the 10%. So 350 divided by 7 will give us 10%. So how many 7s fit into 35? That will be 5, and we have nothing remaining. How many 7s into 0? That is 0. So that is 50 squared kilometers. That to make 10%. So we've got 1, 2, 3 lots of 10% in here. So 50 and 50 and 50. That will make 150 kilometers squared. And that will be the answer. Kevin buys a second-hand car for £7,346. He knows that the car is worth 27% less than when it was brand new. Kevin thinks that the car cost more than £9,000 when brand new. Is Kevin correct? Show why you think this. So if we represent the original price when the car was brand new, that's the 100% amount. We don't know what that amount is, and it's now decreased by 27%. So %27 here. So what is left is 100 take away 27, which gives us 73%. So this is 73%. So 73%, that is £7,346. So I can divide 7,346 by 73 to get just 1%. Because if I have 1%, I can then multiply it by 100 to get the 100% amount, the price when the car was brand new. So 7,346 divided by 73 gives us 100.63. So £100 and 63 pence. That is 1%. So multiplying this now by 100, gives us £10,063. Kevin thinks that the car cost more than £9,000 when brand new, and he's correct. So we're going to say yes, it cost £10,063. Aaron is a festival promoter. He says, in 2019 I sold 105,276 tickets. This is 7% less than the number of tickets I sold in 2018. How many tickets did Aaron sell in 2018? So let's represent the original number, the 2018 number, by 100%. And the 2019 number is 7% less, so maybe 7% here. So what is left is 93%. So 100 take away 7% gives us 93%. So the 2019 number is worth 93% of the 2018 number, if it makes any sense. So we've got the 93%, which is 105,276 tickets. We're going to use that now to work out 1%. So we can multiply it by 100 to get the number of tickets for 2018. So 1% of 105,276 is worked out by doing 105,276 divided by 93, because that's 93%. We need just 1%. So using the calculator, we'll go 105,276 divided by 93 gives us 1,132. So that's 1%. Now 100% will be 1,132 times 100. Which is 113,200. So we've got the 2019 number. Tickets. Now, what can you do to check that you've done this correctly? So you've got the tickets for 2019. You can work out 7% and take that away to see whether that is the 105,276. And it should do. Show a check of your answer. Right, so that's all we're going to do now. What I just said. Let's work out 7%. Because that's the decrease. So 7% of 113,200 so we know that 7 divided by 100, that is 0.07 anyway, times 113,200, that gives us 7,924. If we take it away from 113,200, we get 105,276, which is the 2019 number. So it shows we've done this correctly. Dec needs to pay £908.64 each month for his mortgage and other bills. This is 45% of his monthly income. What is Dec's monthly income? Give your answer to the nearest £10. So again, the whole monthly income will be represented by 100%, and we've got less than half, which is 45%, being spent on mortgage and other bills, and that is equal to £908.64. If we divide this by 45, we get 1%, and then we'll multiply it by 100 to get the 100% amount, which is what we are after. So let's just do this. 908.64 divided by 45 gives us 20.192. Multiplying this by 100 gives us £2,019 and 20 pence. we've got to give our answer to the nearest £10. So that's the digit that represents the tens. So looking at the one on the right, that's a 9, so we're going to round it up. So this becomes a 2. So £2,020. Mr. Patel pays Dan £250 to clean his patio. The £250 includes VAT at 20%. How much was the bill before the VAT was added? So, the bill, 100% before VAT was added at 20%. We don't know what it was, but we know that the whole thing, including VAT, that is £250. So £250, that is 120%. So if I divide 250 by 120, it gives me the 1% amount. So that is 2.0833. And if I multiply that by 100 to get the 100% amount, then I get 208.33. So that was £208.33 before VAT. What you can do now to check your answer is work out 20% of this amount and add it on top to see whether that amounts to the £250 that we had, and it should. As we rounded our answer to 33 pence, it might not be the exact 250 that you get, but something very close to that. And it should be absolutely fine. Rafa and his friends cycle to keep fit. They want to reduce the mean time it takes them to cycle 10 kilometers. Their target is to reduce the time by 11% within 12 weeks. This table shows their times in week 1 and week 12. Has the group achieved its target? Show how you decide. So let's work out the mean, because the aim was to reduce the mean time by 11%. So we'll add all the numbers for week 1 and divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Using a calculator we get 161.7 for week 1 and 146.3 for week 12. So 161.7 divided by 7 gives us 23.1. 146.3 divided by 7 gives us 20.9. So let's see, what is the degrees equal to? So what we're going to do is 23.1 minus 20.9 to work out the difference. Gives us 2.2. So that is 2.2 out of the original mean, that is the week 1 mean, which was 23.1. So let's see. Divided by 23.1 gives us 0.095 2, 3, and so on. So what is that as a percentage? If we multiply it by 100, it gives us the percentage. So that is 9.523. aim was to reduce the time by 11%. Has the group achieved the target? No. .523%. Beth is on a work placement. The company makes biscuits. In 2018, it reduced the number of biscuits in each packet. The weight of each biscuit stayed the same. The weight of a packet went from 135 grams to 108 grams. The 135-gram packet contained 25 biscuits. How many fewer biscuits did the 108-gram packet contain? So we've had a reduction from 135 to 108. So 135 take away 108 gives us 27 grams. That's the decrease. So 27 grams out of the original weight, which was 135. See, it's always out of the original. 27 divided by 135, that is 0.2. So 0.2, that is 20%. You could multiply by 100, but you should hopefully know that it's 20% without a calculator. So the decrease is 20%. If we work out 20% of 25, we can work out how many biscuits fewer there are in each packet. So 20%, we know, is 20 out of 100 of the 25 biscuits. So that is 0.2 times 25, that is 5. So in each packet there are 5 biscuits fewer. The table shows the number of people attending speed awareness courses each year from 2014 to 2018. Jed says the mean number of people attending each year for 2017 and 2018 is over 3% higher than the mean number for 2014 to 2016. Is Jed right? Show how you decide. So we're comparing 2017 and 2018, so these two together, with 2014 to 2016, with these three together. So it's very important because this says total number of people, whereas in the question you've got just as the mean number of people attending each year for 2017 and 2018. So what we need to do to work out the mean for these 2 years is add them together and then divide them by 2. We can't use a total, so we've got to divide them by 2. And then for these 3 years, we add them together, divide them by 3. So 1413598 plus 1445817 gives us this number, which we divide by 2, and it gives us 1,429,707.5, and we'll repeat the process for the top 3 numbers. So 1,355,796 plus 1,403,555 plus 1,390,880 gives us this number, which we divide by 3 to give us 1,383,410. 0.3. Okay, so this is the 2017-18, and this is the mean for 2014, 15 and 16. So Jed says the mean number of people attending each year for 2017 and 2018 is over 3% higher. So let's just take away the 2014 to 2016 number from the 2017 and 18 number. So 1429707.5 take away 1383410.3 gives us 46,297.2. So that's out of the original, the previous, the first. So obviously 2014, 2015 and 2016, they come before 2017 and 18, so we're going to use that number. So out of 1,383,410.3. So the number we still have here divided by 1383410.3 equals 0.03346. So if we multiply this number by 100, it's going to give us the percentage. So that is 3.346. That is over 3%. So is Jed right? Yes. Yes, it's 3.346%. The company's income in 2019, so we're talking about a company, was £863,490. This was 7% higher than in 2018. Work out the company's income in 2018. So the original amount, the 100% amount, will be represented here. That's the 2018, because that comes before the 2019, where we saw an increase by 7%. So this is the 2019 amount. That is 107%. So 100 and the 7, that makes 107, which was equal to £863,490. So if we divide this number by 107, we get just the 1% amount. Then we can multiply that by 100 to get the full amount for 2018. So 863,490 divided by 107, and then we can multiply that by 100. So 863,490 divided by 107 gives us the 1% amount, which is 8,070. Now multiplied by 100 gives us 807,000. If you want to double check, you can reverse the process. So now you have the 2018 amount, work out 7%, add it on top. Does that amount to the 2019 amount? And it should. This is Ellie's electricity bill for the first quarter of this year. Total electricity used £211.90. Dual fuel discount £14.90. VAT £9.85. Total including VAT £206.85. VAT is calculated after discount. What percentage has been used to calculate the VAT? Okay, so we have the price before the discount and the VAT. So that is £211.90. If we take away the discount, which is £14.90, that gives us £197. So VAT is on this amount only, not the £211.90. So VAT is £9.85 out of this amount, 197. Let's see what we get. So 9.85 divided by 197 gives us 0.05. So 0.05, that is as a decimal. As a percentage, that will be 5. So it's like multiplying by 100, and that is 5%. Cameron looks at his quarterly water bill. Total volume of water used this quarter, 118 cubic meters. This is 23% less than the same quarter last year. Work out the volume of water Cameron used for the same quarter last year. Give your answer to one decimal place. So let's start by representing the original volume, which is 100%. And now we have a 23% discount. So this year's volume of water is equal to 100, take away 23, which is 77%. This is 118 cubic meters. So if we divide 118 by 77, it should give us 1%, and then we'll multiply that by 100 to get the 100% volume, the volume for last year, that is. So 118 divided by 77 times 100 gives us 153.2425. 153. Let's do 246. So we got to give our answer to one decimal place, so that is one place after the decimal point. So looking at this digit on the right, that's a 4, so we're going to round down, and it's going to be 153.2. Now to check this, what you can do is reduce this by 23%. So work out 23%, take it away, and does that give you 118? And it should. Abdul buys a new oven for the kitchen. The normal price of the oven is £629. Abdul gets 18% discount on the price of the oven, decrease 629 by 18%. Okay, so we got to decrease 629. So this is the 100% amount, and it's 629. So we've got to decrease it by 18%. So I'm going to show you a method, a quicker method here, since we can use a calculator. So if we take away 18% from the 100%, we're left with 82%. So when we decrease 629 by 18%, we're left with 82%. What is that number? What is that equal to? So let's just use this quick method. 82% as a decimal, that is 0.82. That's what we want to work out, of 629. So I'm going to do 0.82 times 629, and that gives us 515.78. And that is 82% of 629, or 629 decreased by 18%. Chris knows that this year the average house price in his area is £197,200. He expects this average price to increase by 2.1% next year. Does Chris expect the average house price next year to be greater than 200,000? Show how you decide. So we have the original, or this year's cost price. So that is 100%, and that is equal to 197,200. Now Chris expects that next year there will be a 2.1% increase. So that will be on top of the 100%. 100% is this number that we have here. So if we add 2.1% on top of the 100%, that will be 102.1%. As a decimal, that is 1.021 of 197,200. So if I just do this in the calculator, so 1.021 times 197,200, that gives us 201,341.2. And as we're talking about money, we can add a zero there. We should add a zero there. So this becomes £201,341.20. So going back to the question, does Chris expect the average house price next year to be greater than £200,000? We're going to say yes. And we've shown why and how. A newspaper report says that a company made $700,000 profit last year. It says this was 12% more than the year before. Work out how much profit the company made the year before. So, the year before, that's the 100% amount. We don't know what that is equal to in terms of money. But we know that last year that was 12% more. So that was 112% of the original amount of the year before. And that is £700,000 profit. So the quick way to do this would be to divide 700,000 by 1.12, because 112% as a decimal, that is 1.12. So by dividing this, we're reversing the process. And that should give us the 100% amount. So this is exactly the same as dividing 700,000 by 112 to get 1%, and then multiplying by 100 to get the original 100% amount. It's just a shortcut. So 700,000 divided by 1.12 gives us 625,000. Now, if you want to check this, you can increase this by 12% and see if it gives you 700,000. A shop has a sale. There is 30% off all black tag items. 30% off reduced price, £21. One day this notice appears in the shop. One day only, black tag, an extra 25% off marked reduced price. Better than half price. A customer complains that the notice is misleading because it's not true. Is the customer correct? Explain your decision. Include calculations to support your decision. So there have been two reductions in price. The first one by 30% and the second one by 25%. Is that in total 50%? So there have been two reductions in price, once by 30% and then by 25% of the reduced price. Does that amount to 50% of the original price? Let's have a look. So if we show the original price by 100% here, which we don't know what that is, and we're going to work out, and then that was reduced by 30%. So now, after that 30% reduction, that is equal to £21. What's that worth in terms of percentage? So 100%, if you take away the 30%, you're left with 70%. So that's equal to 70%. So if we divide 21 by 70, and then multiply that by 100, we can find out what is the 100% amount, or the original amount, before the 30% discount. So 21 divided by 70 times 100 gives us 30. So the original price was £30. And then we had a 30% discount, so the new price of the item became £21. Now after this, we've got a 25% discount. So 25% of the £21, not of the £30. 25%, we know that's a quarter, so to work out a quarter, we go 21 divided by 4, which is 5.25. So if we take away 5.25 from the £21, it should give us the new price after the second discount. Which is £15.75. So is that better than half price? Thinking that the original price was £30, the new price should be less than £15, and it's not. This is £15.75. The customer is also thinking like us, because they've complained that the notice is misleading because it's not true. So is the customer correct? We're going to say yes. Reducing the price by 30% and then 25% of the reduced price is not the same as reducing the original price by 55%, because that's what they're thinking. They're thinking 30% off and 25% off, that is 55% off, but it's not the case, because the new reduction in price is off the already reduced price. So we've got an offer here, it says £240 including VAT. What is the price of the phone before VAT of 20% is added? So there we have the original price represented here, and we've had a 20% increase because of VAT. So £240 is actually 120%. So what we'll do is 240 divided by 120 times 100, which gives us £200. And to double check, what is 10% of 200? That is 20. So 20% will be 40, £40, and the £200, that makes 240. An editor needs to change the width of this photo to fit in a magazine. The photo needs to be 32 mm wide. What percentage of the original width will the changed photo be? Show your working. So it's changing from 8.9 centimeters to 32 millimeters. So first of all, we'll need to convert the measurement, so either the centimeters into millimeters or the millimeters into centimeters. Whichever way is absolutely fine. What I'm going to do is I'm going to convert the centimeters into millimeters. There are 10 millimeters in 1 centimeter, so this is going to be 89 millimeters. So what is the difference between 89 and 32? So 89 take away 32 gives us 57. So that is 57 out of the original width. Okay, so it's changing from this big one into the small one. So the original one is 89 millimeters. So we're going to do 57 out of 89. So 57 divided by 89 gives us 0.64. Now that's just like 64 pence, which also means 64%. Or you could just go here and multiply this by 100, which again gives you the same answer. Chairperson of a committee. The chairperson of a committee needs to write a report for a council meeting. She needs to compare the flight tipping incidents reported in the local area with the flight tipping incidents reported nationally. National report. This year, local authorities in England dealt with an increase of 8% of flight tipping incidents on those reported in last year. This table shows the numbers of flight tipping incidents reported in the local area. So we've got last year 11,193, this year 11,649. What will the chairperson write in a report about the comparison between the local incidents and the national incidents? Explain your answer using figures. So, nationally, there's been an increase by 8% in comparison to last year. Let's have a look. Is that the case locally? So we've got this year and last year. So if we do 11,649, which is this year's number, take away 11,193, which is last year's number, we can work out the difference. And that is 456. So 456 out of the original. So which one is the earlier one? That's last year. So out of 11,193, that gives us 0.04. So that is 4%. So we're going to say that locally fly tipping increased by 4% this year, which is half of the increase that has taken place nationally. Highfield Builders is planning to build some new apartments in Highfield Town. The apartments will be ready to sell in 2025. Your manager has asked you to research the selling prices of apartments in Highfield Town, and you find this information. So we've got selling prices in the year 2005 and then selling prices in the year 2015. What will be the mean selling price of an apartment in 2025 if the mean price rises by the same percentage as it did between 2005 and 2015? Show your working out and write the answer in the box below. So first of all, we'll work out the mean price for 2005 by adding all of these prices and dividing by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that is 486,200. Divided by 8, that gives us 60,775. Adding the selling prices for 2015 gives us 761,350, which we're going to divide by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and that gives us 126,891.67. So what is the difference? What is the increase? So we're going to do 126,891.67 take away 60,775. That gives us 66,116.67. That is out of 60,775, which was the original mean. And that gives us 1.87, which when we multiply by 100 to get the percentage, because that's a decimal, this is 108.79. So the question asks, what will be the mean selling price of an apartment in 2025 if the mean price rises by the same percentage as it did between 2005 and 2015. So we're going to increase the 2015 mean price by 108.79%. The mean price for 2015 was 126,891.67. To increase that by 108.79%, we will multiply it by 2.0879. So 108.79%, that is 1.0879 as a decimal, and adding the 100% that we have here already, because this is just the increase, right? We want to get the final number with the increase included. That's why we multiply by 2.0879. So we add in the 100%, which is equal to 1 as a decimal. So 126,891.67 times 2.0879 equals 264,937. I will round this to 1/2 as we're talking about money, so that would be 12 pence. So that is the price expected for 2025. And you can also check, because looking at the price from 2005, it has about doubled in comparison to the 2015, and the price from 2015 to 2025 has about doubled. So that shows we've done this correctly. These are your figures for selling candles and photo frames last year. We've got month sales from January to December. What is the percentage increase in your mean monthly profit from the first 6 months to the mean monthly profit from the second 6 months? So we're going to focus on these, adding them up and dividing by 6, and then adding these up and dividing by 6. So the total for the first 6 months is £1,470. And if we divide that by 6, we get 245. The total for the second 6 months is 1,896. Dividing that by 6 gives us 316. So what is the increase equal to? So we'll do 316, take away 245. Gives us 71. So that is 71 out of the original. So that is the mean in the first 6 months, which was 245. So 71 divided by 245 gives us 0.289. And as a percentage, that is going to be 28.9. So like multiplying by 100. You could round it to 29% as well. Highfield Bank records a profit made over the previous 2 years. So we've got 2017 and 2018. Quarter 1, 2, 3 and 4. What is the percentage increase in the mean quarterly profit from 2017 to 2018? Show your working out and write the answer in the box below. So we'll add the numbers for 2017 and divide by 4. and then we'll add the numbers for 2018 and divide by 4 so we can find the mean per quarter. So that gives us 2,750,000. So 2,750,000 divided by 4 gives us 687,500. Adding the 2018 figures gives us 3,250,000, which we again divide by 4 to get 812,500. So there clearly has been an increase, so we'll do 812,500, take away 687,500, and that gives us 125,000 increase. That is out of the original mean, which was 687,500. That is 0.182, which is 18.2%. So you can multiply that by 100. The 0.182, 18.2% or just 18% should be fine. You are working for Highfield Property Developers. The company buys properties, renovates them, and then sells them. They hope to make a profit on every property they sell. These are the properties the company has bought and sold in the last 6 months. Profit is worked out by selling price, takeaway, purchase price plus renovation costs. The manager says the mean profit on a flat is about 12% more than the mean profit on a house. Is the manager correct? So we need to first work out the profit for each property. So we can use a calculator for that. So looking at the first one, selling price was £355,250. We need to take away from that the renovation cost and the purchase price, so 299,950, and then take away the 27,500. That leaves us with 27,800. The profit. So I've worked out the profit for all the properties one by one, repeating the process. Now we've got to work out the mean profit for houses separate from the mean profit for flats. Let's start with the houses. So here we have a house. So we're going to add this and this and this and this amount. So 27,800 plus 11,000 plus 32,955, take away 9,250, which is 62,505. Now that we're going to divide by 4 because we have 4 houses. That gives us 15,626.25. So that's the mean profit for houses. Let's do this now for the flats. So we've got 11,050, add 27,560, add 16,950, gives us 55,560, divided by 3, because there are only 3 flats, that gives us 18,520. So the manager says the mean profit on a flat is about 12% more than the mean profit on a house. So what we're going to do is work out the difference. So 18,520 take away 15,626.25, which is 2,893.75 out of the mean profit on a house, because that's the low one that the manager says there is 12% more than. So that was 15,626.25. And that gives us 0.185, which is 18.5%. The manager said that there was about 12% more, and that is not correct, because it's 18.5% more. Circle the calculation that increases 260 by 17%. So when you increase a number by 17%, that is like working out 117% of that number. So as a decimal, that is 1.17. So you multiply 260 by 1.17. And that's this option here. Work out the percentage decrease from 5,200 to 4,108. So the first thing to do is take away 4,108 from 5,200. Which is 1,092. So 1,092 out of the original. It says from 5,200. So that's going to be out of 5,200. And when we say out of, it means division. So that gives us 0.21, which is 21%. The company, so that's any company, a company, sells large candles for £9.60 each, including 20% VAT. How much VAT is there on each large candle? So, including VAT, that is 120%, the £9.60. So, if we divide £9.60 by 120 and then multiply by 100, we should get the price before VAT. And that is 8, so £8. Shortcut for this would have been 9.60 divided by 1.2 rather than dividing by 120 and then multiplying by 100. Remember 1.2, that's the decimal for 120%. So when you work out increase in the first place, you multiply the number by 1.2, but if you reverse in the process because you have the increased price and you want to go backwards, then do divide by 1.2. Increase 1,670 by 27%. So you're going to increase, so 27%, that's going to be on top of the 100%. So that will make 127%. 127% as a decimal, that is 1.27 of 1670. So we multiply in there. And that gives us 2120.9. How can you check? There are different ways, but one of them is, as 27% is about a quarter, so you can work out a quarter of 1600, that's going to be about 400. So if you add 400 on top of this, will that be about 2120? And yes, that's correct. Fran wants to buy a new bike for the race. She sees this offer. Racing bike, £708 including VAT at 20%. Special offer, we pay the VAT. Fran has £600 to spend. Can she afford the bike? You must show you're working. So the £708, that includes the VAT. So this is equal to 120%. So you could divide 708 by 120 and multiply by 100, or go straight into 708 divided by 1.2, which is this percentage as a decimal. And this is a shortcut that's going to help you a lot in the exam and everyday life, actually. So that gives us 590. So that is the price before VAT. Fran has £600 to spend. Can she afford the bike? Yes, she can, because this is only £590 that are needed. Jim is thinking of buying solar panels. The price of these panels has decreased by 27% since 2016. Jim would need to pay £4,803.40 for the panels now. How much would the panels have cost in 2016? So the 2016 price is the original 100% price, which we don't know, but there's been a decrease by 27% since then. So what's left is 73%, because 100 take away 27, that is 73. So 73% is equal to £4,803.40. What is 100% equal to? So we can divide £4,803.40 by 73 and then multiply by 100, and that should give us the answer. Or the shortcut is divide 4,803.4 by 0.73, because 73%, that's what it is as a decimal. So let's do this in the calculator. 4,803.4 divided by 73 times 100 gives us 6,580. So to check whether you've done this correctly, you can work out what is a quarter of 6,580 and take that away from the number, because as you can see, we've got 27% decrease, which is about a quarter. So 6,580 divided by 4, that is 1,645. If you take that away from 6,580, it should give you 4,803, which is what we started with. Or a number close to that, I mean, because we rounded off the percentage. And this is the end of the questions.